I think there's a moment for every dumb decision where your gut whispers, don't do it. What if that decision led to the best story of your entire life?
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone.
So wait, you're just gonna fly halfway across the world without a plan?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is the point.
Was it freezing in Canada? You hate the cold.
Let's just call it character development.
Okay. So come running back to me when you get mauled by a bear.
I wasn't going to let that little voice win. So I took the plunge and moved to Canada on a whim. And here's how it's been going so far.
Spitting off the edge of the world. Never had no chance. Spitting off the edge of the world.
So, that was my first month in Canada, but to understand how we got here, we need to rewind.
Back to Wanaka, New Zealand. It was my home for 5 years, and it's truly paradise there. But even paradise can start to feel predictable. Every day started to blur into the next. That comfort, as beautiful as it was, started to feel like a gilded cage. My creative spark felt like it was suffocating. I needed to break that predictability and to step into something that scared me. And that's exactly what happened. Arriving in Vancouver, I was like switching from black and white to full colour. After years of small town routine, suddenly it was humid air, sunlight cutting through towering trees, but also the raw reality of city life right there on the streets. A stark contrast between lush nature and undeniable struggle. My brain, which had been on autopilot, was suddenly firing on all cylinders. I wasn't just seeing things, I was noticing them, and I was hooked. But what happens when that discomfort you're chasing isn't just sensory overload, but logistical chaos? That's exactly what happened when I had a visa mishap and a missed train left me stranded in Vancouver with a whole lot of gear and no way to get to Washington. I could have turned back. Instead, I made a choice to walk across the border with 40 kilos on my back. Once I was on the other side, one of my best friends came and scooped me up, and suddenly I was thrown into an adventure that I hadn't really planned for.
Shorty got back. Should I ask her for a dance? Hold on, there's too many in the wolf pack. And besides, dirty cats talking to her, buying her fake furs and taking her to the fever. Quiet as it's kept, they ain't even his Benz. She spends his Franklins, hit the malls with her friends. Material girl living in the material world, but it's alright.
So the last thing I expected to be doing in the middle of summer was building a backcountry jump with people I'd just met. It's kind of crazy how travel can throw you into these wild, fleeting moments with strangers. And while those quick connections are special, there's a different kind of comfort in reconnecting with friends who already feel like home. And that's exactly who Kyle and Maria are for me. After meeting by total chance at a remote campsite in New Zealand, they quickly became some of my closest friends. And to be on the other side of the world and have them welcome you to their home, it was honestly pretty special and exactly what I needed. Just relaxing and soaking in the quiet moments. It felt like a gentle reminder that even when you're chasing discomfort, balance matters. Then was time to fly over to Calgary, where one of my best friends was to pick me up and take me to Canmore. But, of course, when you move across the world with no plan, things rarely go to plan. I missed my flight by a single frustrating minute. It was another reminder to just let go. But eventually I made it, and as we drove through the city into the mountains, all of that chaos just melted away. Seeing the Rockies for the first time, I felt incredibly small. For the first time, I also felt like I was exactly where I needed to be. And then, the universe sent a sign in the form of an Instagram message about a room in Banff, and just 24 hours later, I had keys in my hand. I'd moved across the world on a whim, and suddenly, I had a home, and now the adventure could truly begin. That first month in Banff was a blur. New housemates, new friends, new routines that didn't really feel like routines. I've always been a socially anxious person, but I pushed myself to say yes, to meet people, to be part of things.
And it worked. I was having fun. A lot of fun.
But, as I soon came to realise, saying yes to everything eventually catches up with you. That same energy that made the first month so incredible also drained me. So I hit pause. I started bringing back healthy practices into my routine, and slowly the fog lifted. My energy came back, and the creativity followed. I was starting to understand that growth wasn't just about chasing discomfort. It was about finding balance in that little space between the uncomfortable and the calm. But finding that middle ground didn't mean I was done taking risks. It just meant that when the right kind of challenge came along, I'd have the energy to say yes. And it wasn't long before that challenge appeared in the form of a 6-day horse track with Banff trailer riders. With little to no riding experience, being with a group full of strangers, and a forecast calling for a solid week of rain, everything felt uncertain. But a quiet voice told me to lean in and to say yes. And what followed was one of the most grounding, perspective-shifting weeks of my life. We crossed glacial rivers, navigated narrow ridgelines at 8,000 feet, and shared stories around a campfire with people who were strangers on day 1 and family by day 6. Out there was no signal, no noise, just a steady rhythm of the horses, the immense stillness of the Rockies, and the kind of presence you can only find when everything else is stripped away. That trip was a powerful reminder. So much beauty is waiting for us on the other side of discomfort, and an intentional yes, even when it's hard, can change everything.
Hello there, weary traveller. If you've made it this far, I want to say a massive thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. It took me a long time to make. I had a lot of fun making this, but I just went through creative ruts and such. Anyway, I just wanted to leave a little footnote. This is completely unscripted, and if anything, I hope I could inspire you to challenge yourself with something new. You don't have to move across the world to do that. I mean, you could just talk to a stranger on the street. Just do anything that, within safe boundaries, challenges you as a person. It could be physical, it could be mental. I think it's one of the best ways we can grow as humans. This trip has really pushed me to grow even more. And throughout this period, I have learned that routine is important. It was something I was running away from at the beginning. Throughout these 3 months, I have learned how important balance is. And I'm struggling still to find that middle ground. But the journey has been amazing, and this trip has been one of the best decisions of my life. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd love if you could subscribe, send me some love, like, comment. Put a lot of hours into this. I learned a lot, grew a lot, had a couple sleepless nights, re-editing, hating my dialogue. I think storytelling and creating a narrative is so beautiful, but it's hard. You can only go up from here. And if you want to see more, I would love for you to join me. I've already got a lot of ideas in the pipeline. But yeah, if you made it this far and you've listened to me ramble and watch my incoherent storytelling, thank you so much. Bless you, love you, and cheers to uncomfortable adventures.